Today we're going to be talking about polynomial addition and subtraction. So with polynomial addition and subtraction, you want to make sure that you are aligning your like terms between the two polynomials. And you want to only combine like terms. Now a nice way in order to do that is to visually line it up, like as seen in these examples, so that you can visually see what your like terms are. Now when it comes to subtracting, it's going to be a little bit different in that you want to make sure that you distribute that subtraction to all of the terms in the polynomial you're subtracting. So in this example, for example, you want to do -1 times +2 to get you a -2x squared, -1 times -6x to get you +6x, and then -1 times +12 to get you -12. And then you want to vertically align your terms. The biggest mistake people make is that whenever they see a subtraction problem, they only subtract one of the terms instead of all of the terms in the polynomial. So it's best to just go ahead and distribute that subtraction from the get-go. So let's go ahead and do a few examples. So if it just says to add the polynomials, wonderful. Go ahead and just align your addition. So since it says to add them, we'd be doing 4x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x plus 6x cubed plus 2x squared. And then you notice how I'm actually not going to write the -3 right below the last term because he's a different type of term. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a blank space in those missing place value parts. Now I'm going to go ahead and combine my like terms vertically. So positive 4x cubed plus positive 6x cubed gets me positive 10x cubed. Negative 3x squared plus positive 2x squared gets me negative 1x squared. Positive 2x plus no other x's gets me positive 2x. And then -3 plus no other constants gets me -3. Go ahead and pause your video and see if you can do the next addition yourself. So for the next addition, I'm again want to make sure I vertically align it. So I have x squared minus 2x plus 5, positive 4x squared. This next term doesn't have any x terms, so I'm going to leave that blank. And then minus 2 here on the end. Now I'm ready to go ahead and vertically add these guys up. So a plain x squared is secretly a positive 1x squared. 1x squared plus 4x squared gets me 5x squared. -2x plus no additional plain x's gets me -2x. Positive 5 plus -2 will get me positive 3 as my final answer. Go ahead and see if you can do this next addition problem yourself, and then if you are feeling good about that, go ahead and try this subtraction as well before I go over it. So for this addition one, again, you're going to want to vertically align your terms, but notice how here there were actually some like terms to be combined within that parenthesis. So I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. So I have 4x cubed plus 6x, because those two terms combined to make 6x. I can go ahead and do that addition before I start combining it with the other parenthesis. Then I'm going to go ahead and line up my other parentheses. So then I've got 2x squared. Notice how I lined him up under that blank space because there were no x squareds in the other term. Minus 2x plus 2, and then I'm going to go ahead and vertically add these up. So positive x to the fourth plus no other x to the fourth will get me x to the fourth. 2x squared plus no other x squareds will give me plus 2x squared. Positive 6x minus 2x is going to get me positive 4x. Positive 2 plus no other constants will get me plus 2. For the subtraction, you're going to want to make sure that you distribute that subtraction first before setting up this vertically. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite that first term exactly as is, 7y squared plus 11y plus 8. And now I'm going to be adding after I distribute that subtraction. So then I've got -1 times -3y cubed gets me plus positive 3y squared. -1 times -3y squared gets me positive 3y squared. -1 times positive 4y gets me minus 4y. -1 times positive 6 gets me minus 6. And now I'm ready to go ahead and vertically line these up. So I have 7y squared plus 11y plus 8, positive 3y squared minus 4y minus 6. And now that I have this vertically lined up, I'm good to go. Positive 7y squared plus 3y squared will get me 10y squared. positive 11y minus 4y will get me positive 7y. Positive 8 minus 6 gets me positive 2 as a final answer. So notice once I've already distributed that subtraction, I just treat this as though it's an addition problem. Go ahead and pause your video and try this next one yourself before we go through it. So for this next one, again, I'm going to just at first sort of rewrite that first term as is. Then I'm going to distribute that subtraction on the second term. So we're going to have negative 1 times positive 7y cubed gets us negative 7y cubed. Negative 1 times positive 2y gets me minus 2y. Negative 1 times positive 6 gets us minus 6. Negative 1 times positive 5 gets us minus 5. And now we're ready to go to vertically line these up. So I have 9y to the 5th, and I'm going to write 20y cubed, and then plus 8x plus 9. Then I'm going to vertically align these up underneath. So we have negative 7y cubed. This negative 2y doesn't match with either of those terms, so I'm going to shimmy him to the side. Negative 6x goes right underneath that term, and then negative 5 goes right underneath that term. So notice how we're trying to keep careful track of what's considered my like terms the entire time. Now I'm just ready to add straight down. 9y cubed added to nothing else gets us 9y cubed. 20y cubed minus 7y cubed is going to leave us with 13y cubed. 8x minus 6x is going to leave us with 2x. 9 minus 5 is going to leave us with 4. Negative 2y plus nothing is going to give us minus 2y. And that would be our final beautiful expression.